We've got this 2023 Skoda in today. It's the 1 litre petrol 3-cylinder. Owner of the vehicle losing the will to live with Skoda. It's been going back to the dealership under warranty for a repetitive fault, which is basically P0087, fuel rail pressure lower than desired. So we were having a look at this yesterday. We used Otis, which is the same tool as they use in the dealership, to diagnose it, or attempt to diagnose it. We got the fault code P0087 and followed this test plan, which basically we had a pressure gauge and a fuel flow test to do at the fuel pump in the tank. We've done that yesterday. We'd also done a leak down test on the injection system as well, and it basically, the tests were inconclusive. It passed all the tests. I didn't particularly like the way it does the tests. I think it's well, yeah, it's a typical manufacturer test plan. It doesn't sort of take into consideration driving conditions or anything like that. It's all done at idle speed. So what I've done today is I've requested more time off the owner to do some further testing and do the testing the way that I would do it. So I'm on the signal wire here on the rail pressure sensor now. I'm using a side probe on the signal wire, and plenty of people will basically be in the comments about this, but there's a reason why I'm doing this. I've already road tested this vehicle with a back probe in the rail pressure sensor plug, and I couldn't get the car to fault, but I found the voltage of the signal wire to be a bit scruffy, should we say. So I'm going on a side probe, so I'm not interfering with the pins in the plug, but I will basically put some liquid tape over the wire when I'm finished, just to protect it from any water ingress. I've also got a pressure transducer on the fuel pump here, so I'm measuring the pressure that the fuel pump in the tank is creating, and I've also got an amps clamp on the fuel pump as well, so I can see what the current flow from the fuel pump is. And so if we look to show you what all that means, the red is the fuel pump current, which is currently sitting at an average of about 7.98 amps. The green is the pressure from the pressure transducer, which is currently sitting at around 6.5 bar, and the blue is the signal wire off the rail pressure sensor, which is sitting at an average of about 2.03 volts. So if I give this a rev, you'll see everything changes. So you can see the fuel pressure goes up, the current drops on the pump because there's less restriction in the line, because the pressure regulator on the fuel pump is opening, and you can see the pressure in the line rises a bit. I'm also monitoring live data here, so if you can see, we've got a red and a sort of pinky purpley line here, which is the actual and desired rail pressure. The blue is the duty cycle of the fuel pressure regulator on the fuel pump. So I'm going to road test it again and see if this signal wire on the rail pressure sensor, or the signal voltage on the rail pressure sensor, starts acting up again. But as I say, I was back probed before because I didn't want to damage the insulation on the wiring, so I'll always choose back probe first. But I couldn't get it to do the fault, but I did notice that the signal from the fuel pressure sensor was a bit all over the shop. So let's get it out on the road and see where it goes. Unfortunately, I couldn't capture the fault on this car while I was recording, but after many miles of driving, I did capture it. This green line here is the output pressure from the in-tank pump. The red line here is the current draw from the in-tank pump, and the blue line here is the fuel rail pressure sensor. I've got the amps clamped back to front, so it's transposed. So as you can see, before the fault occurred, the output pressure from the in-tank pump was 2.9 bar, and the current draw was only 4.3 amps. This is where the fault occurs here. As you can see, what's happening is the rail pressure is starting to drop off, and then it would appear that the in-tank pump control module is jacking up the pressure on the in-tank pump, and it jacks it up to 6.3 bar, which then pulls 8.8 amps at the pump. Now even if I clear the fault, so I switch the car off and start it up again, it maintains those levels. It doesn't drop back to the 2.9 bar. I think it's as long as that fault is stored in the engine ECU, it's going to keep that in-tank pump pressure running higher. So it's as if the in-tank pump is trying to overcome something on the high pressure system. So from here, what I need to do is I need to get onto Irwin and see if I can download the self-study program for this engine and fuel system to basically work out what the strategy is of the fuel system, to see if this is normal or if that is actually an error, that is a symptom of the error. So I'll go to high gear and I'll do it again. Fuel pressure rises, then drops. Let's ping the light on. Let's jack the fuel pressure up again. So I'm calling high pressure pump on this one. So we've got the high pressure pump off the engine now. So that's the old pump, the old pipe, the old tappet, the roller, and the 2 bolts. Got new ones to go on here. That's the new pump fitted. There's no need for us to have the scope on because I can see the fault occurring. Through the live data. So I don't understand how the dealer didn't see the same as me. So, same conditions. Sun's bright today. Come on, sunshine, get out of the way. Oh, we're still in limp mode here. Let's have a look. So we're out on road testing it there now. Just going to do the same as what I did before. So I'm just coming to a junction now. So second gear, accelerate. As you can see, like before, fuel pressures, actual and desired, are exactly the same. I'm going to go into sixth gear and 25 miles an hour. Got my foot flat on the floor, accelerating. As you can see, fuel pressure steadily rising, no drop off in the actual fuel pressure. It's following the desired all the way. Same again, foot flat to the floor, labouring the engine. So we're only doing just over 1000 RPM. Speed's building up, no drop in fuel pressure. Come on, Skoda dealers, what are you training your lads to do in the workshop? Let them do their own tests instead of following these stupid bloody test plans on orders. So I'm going to call this one a fix.